what I dreamed with to have that united Sudan for a long time, it became like a place that we run from it and we left everything. That's why I put some cry. I put kind of distorted faces, all these things on my expression.
Issam Hafiez fled Sudan for Kenya in the very first month of the war.
Nairobi is a good hub for artists from different places, and they have tradition of exhibiting art and doing art for more than 40 years. It's hard for us at the beginning, but we get used. We work, we build our own studios, and we start to be in the role of art, so as to say what's happening in Sudan, what's happening because of the war.
Sudanese cultural events have become more popular here since the war began. The next room showcases works by 7 other artists from Khartoum.
Didn't thinking about it. I can make exhibition like, for the one of big of artists of galleries in this country.
Some of these artists were famous back home, but in Nairobi, they exhibit their art to a new audience who is beginning to discover their culture.
The Sudanese artists, they are reflecting always the Sudan culture and identity. When it came like this mess after the war, we have to reflect what is Sudan itself, what's the identity. We have to reflect it in a kind of seeking for peace, to stop war.
It is the responsibility of any really artist, yeah. And it is like a society responsibility and also a historical responsibility.
These artworks remind the audience that Sudan's fate must not be ignored. They also provide an opportunity for the diaspora to keep their culture alive under difficult times, a culture which is very present across the city: paintings, music, and food. Sudanese restaurants are opening up in the capital.
When I came here, I found many people came before me and established like Sudanese community or something like this. When I touch with this community, I feel like not I'm in Sudan, but a little bit of like Sudan.
Nairobi has become a hub for civilians fleeing the conflict, but not all of the Sudanese living here are refugees.
You gotta be able to deal with different people, with different characters, with different ideology, you know. Although you can disagree with some things, but that's what represents us. So, you know, we always focus on the diversity. So that is the main point for the restaurant, yeah.
Among the patrons is a former rebel from Darfur. Ibrahim Adam has become a politician and claims to be independent.
As a good citizen to my country, Sudan, and I love my country, deserve to have a stable political system, I have to contribute as a good citizen in reforming or establishing the political system that is exercising the rule of law. But the global community presence here is also high level. So there's a lot that we can do together as a part of the international community, Sudanese, and collectively we can try to work to speak to the conflict parties that it is enough for power struggle.
Those involved in the current conflict are also present in Nairobi. The paramilitary Rapid Support Forces launched their political coalition from the Kenyan capital in February 2025. They operate more discreetly now, following international criticism towards the group, but they are still active. Abdul Rahman Ismail is responsible for what the RSF calls its humanitarian agency.
Geographically, we are present in Darfur, the 5 states.
These are the territories controlled by the RSF. They decide which NGOs can operate there.
Nairobi is a humanitarian hub, international humanitarian hub. It gives us access, regular access and regular communications with United Nations, donors, NGOs, so that at that level of strategic engagement, we engage regularly.
After 3 years of a war that shows no sign of ending, the Sudanese government has continued to condemn the RSF's presence in Nairobi. The Kenyan capital finds itself in an ambiguous position, welcoming both those responsible for the conflict and those who have fled it.